England players tonight, especially early first 20 minutes, they're not going to have a lot of time on the ball, are they? Because they're going to be press.
100%, Al. You looked at that USA performance against Wales. I know everybody's been critical of Wales for that first 45 minutes, and I get it and I understand it, and they deserve a bit of criticism. However, I was very impressed with the USA first 45 minutes. I thought they were full of energy because their performances in the build-up games I mentioned earlier hadn't been great, really hadn't been eye-catching. But that first 45 minutes looked lively. Pulisic Weah scores a good goal. So England will expect that, Alan, and they'll be ready for that. But at the same time, you know, I'm looking at both sides, and I just think the difference in quality, mate.
Yeah.
England have got better football players, simple as. And if they go about it the right way, I genuinely can't see any problems for England.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Tell you what I will say. Kyle Walker, you and I had the chat yesterday. Kyle, and his words were maybe taken out of context, because remember he said it's time for England to show a little bit of arrogance.
Correct.
Right? Now, I nailed him right away because I think it was the wrong thing to say. And I
confidence
think, to be fair to Kyle Walker, yes, confidence would have been the word. But I did notice some of Gareth's comments saying that they didn't want to show the same arrogance they had before.
Yeah.
So I could tell right away that Gareth wasn't happy with the use of that word as well. Listen, we all enjoy a bit of confidence. We all, you know, a bit of self-belief is, and I think the English boys have got that. But there's a thin line between that and arrogance. And I think that's one of the appealing factors actually about this England team. You look at the boys that come in, Rice and Bellingham and Saka, they look grounded. They don't look as though they've got arrogance at all. But it's funny, Al. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and say this as a Scotsman, but I see it comfortable for England tonight. If they come out the traps and expect the USA to perform the same, you know, come out the same way they did against Wales, I think England will be ready for them. Because I think England are a better team than Wales. I can see it being comfortable for England tonight.
Ray, from what we've seen so far, Ray, England are up there. They've been as good as anyone so far, haven't they?
Well, certainly when I watched the Argentina game, Al, they were the second favourites.
Yeah.
What am I watching here? Saudi Arabia, you know. And I think Graeme Souness in the studio, you can't just turn up at a game and think you're going to turn someone over. This is their cup. This is their World Cup final, Saudi Arabia, and Argentina thought, oh well, you know, if 2 or 3 players are off it, then you get beat. That's what I've seen in this World Cup so far, and give you a game. They all give you a game. These nations are in the World Cup, but the England so far, I've been very impressed with the first game. Obviously, they come out. What I was really impressed with the substitutions as well. Al, when they made Rashford, Foden, and Grealish come on, they made an impact.
Yeah.
They all got on the score. Well, Rashford, Grealish got on the score sheet. Foden looked lively, and that is a massive plus for Gareth.
Couldn't have worked it any better for Gareth. Because we're sitting out, and the team came out, and you know you might have as I said earlier, you might have a discussion. Okay, I might have had Foden in instead of Saka, Foden in. You know, but it's not a massive debate. And then Gareth, you know, as I said, couldn't have worked out any better. Ray, you're spot on. He brings on his substitutes, including Callum Wilson.
If you didn't watch that game as well, Ali, and it's 6-2, how many? First thing I would say, how many did Harry Kane get?
Yeah. I know.
No goals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's so good for Gareth as well because you don't rely on one player. You got to mix the goals up wherever they're going to come from. Saka got 2. Obviously, Bellingham he could be a sensational. He could be brilliant this tournament. I really believe.
He looks a real deal.
As much as these young kids at Spain are very good, you know, Gavi as we mentioned there, and Bellingham could be the main man.
I think you're right.
And I like the old-fashioned centre halves. My idol growing up, Brian Robson.
Yeah.
Guy, box to box, box to box, box to box. And he was involved in everything, Bellingham. So he could become a real star. And I'm sure every single club who looking at him at the moment just buy him. Liverpool, you know, I'm sure he come back to Premier League sooner or later. His price is going up every single game.
Tell you what it does. It tells you something about the
19 years old. I mean, amazing.
What about Dortmund's recruitment?
Brilliant.
Phenomenal.
Brilliant.
You think about it, Sancho,
yeah.
I mean, even Haaland. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
So we heard from Gareth earlier that England have never beaten USA in a major tournament. A defeat in 1950, a draw in 2010. Being their only other meetings. Harry Maguire also spoke yesterday, and he's not concerned about his lack of minutes on the pitch coming into this World Cup.
No, I have great belief in myself. I go on the training pitch, I work as hard as possible, I give my all, I give my best. and that gives you good preparation to go into a game and perform to the best level. I went into the Euros on the back of an 8-10 week injury, and so I wasn't too worried about the lack of game time. Obviously, I want to be playing every week for my club. It's something that I'm going to fight to get back into the team. So it's not what and where I want it to be, but of course I feel fresh. I've worked hard. I've done extras on the training pitch to make sure I'm ready when I get the opportunity to play. And I knew the World Cup was coming up, so I always put on the extra shifts in training, like I said, and kept myself ticking over.
Yeah, there you go, Harry Maguire. I must admit, Ali, what you were saying earlier about Gareth and Ray, you're saying, you know, where the goals came from. I'd have probably gone. I might not have played Saka or Sterling. I'd have gone Foden. I do rate him so highly, and I think Rashford's back. But look, Gareth stuck with what he knows, and they both come up trumps from 3 goals. The two of them get, and then the subs come on and score, as you said. Now Harry's the same. Ben White must be saying, "Well, hold on a minute. I'm playing every week. I'm playing well. Why am I not this side?" Are you surprised that Ben's out, Maguire in, Ray?
The only problem you have is he's been playing right back. Now, he can play centre back, he can fit in no problem. But Gareth, I think we all knew that he's going to be very loyal with the players who's got him there. And Sterling was a big. He's in pretty bad form, isn't he, at Chelsea, if I'm being honest, this season. He's playing left wing back, he's playing all different positions. But I think Gareth knows exactly what he can bring to the team, and he didn't let anybody down. He got his goal. Harry Kane, obviously, brilliant bit of play from Harry, puts a great ball in. So I think the players know exactly where they stand with everything. And, you know, Ben White is delighted to be in the squad, if I'm being honest. He wasn't in the last squad, was he? So to go to a World Cup, Al, he'd be happy to be there. If they go back to a 3 at the back, which maybe in the latter stages, if they get to the quarterfinals against France, who look quite dangerous, didn't they, Giroud, and that's where the map could be going. He might change the system, but I hope he doesn't, because I think that, as you said, Al, before, let the handbrake off, because we've got so many good players going
100%,
forward.
100%.
Let's go for it. You know, start on the front foot.
100%.
And try and get that first goal.
I wouldn't even change it against France. I really wouldn't.
No.
I said earlier, Al, I don't know whether you agree, I think England are just about at the point where every other team, and I mean every other team, should be more worried about England than England are about them.
Yeah. And if they get a big result
just
tonight.
Just a quick one about Harry Maguire, Alan. Just
got to be quick, so I've got to break
Harry. Absolutely. It was a certainty to play in the opening game. It was a perfect game for him. Because if you don't play him, his confidence might go, and you might have to ask him to come in against the France, come in against the Brazil, and then you've got a real problem. It was a perfect game for Harry Maguire.
And before people start to say, but when you play against France and the better sides, you get found out. But then everyone's got to step the game up against the better sides, haven't they?